Sean, did you see what happened between O'Day and Randy Gregory after the game yesterday?
I did later on. I saw that, and then I actually spoke with John Runyon from the league when they let me know that they were going to send out the deal to suspend he and O'Day or Randy and O'Day for a game. We'll appeal that, and then we'll see kind of what the league does with that.
Did you talk to O'Day?
I've not spoken to O'Day yet. No, I haven't had a chance to speak with him yet, Sarah.
And did you guys come out of the game with any injuries?
We didn't, just your typical bumps and bruises, but nothing that's going to affect anybody's game status, moving towards the Chargers. So that was a positive for us.
With Cam, what's it like to work with him since the midpoint of the season when he wasn't with the team and now what he's done over the last month?
I think he's just gone about his business the right way. Really attacked every single day. Like I mentioned yesterday, Sarah, I think, he deserves a ton of credit. I thought guys played well around him yesterday. And then I also think, Thomas Brown's leadership for that group, has been really helpful. And it was great to be able to see Cam play the way that we know he's capable of. And I thought he played really well against the Packers. We just had a lot more limited opportunities, but he's doing a nice job. I think it says a lot about him for him to be able to kind of go through the things that he's gone through individually this year and to be where he's at and continuing to play the way that he's played, is a real credit to him.
Did he have to show you anything after he came back?
No, it wasn't anything like that as much as just, consistently just go about your business and, good things will happen because of the ability and the talent that he has. And that's what we're seeing.
Thanks, Sean.
You're welcome.
Jordan.
Hey, Sean, just wanted to check on Laurel Murchison. He did leave the game yesterday.
Yep. So yeah, just a little bit of a stinger. He's going to be okay. Has some neck soreness, but we don't anticipate it to affect his, ability to be ready to practice on Wednesday and ready to go this week.
So I know this probably could be like an all-day response from you, but starting with him and kind of going into guys who have filled in different roles, guys you've gotten to look at in different places. Can you share a couple of thoughts of what you've seen from players specifically who've done that for you guys this season?
Yeah, I think when you look at, Murch, he's a guy that we're just getting to know and, just what a guy that did a great job capitalizing on his opportunities. I mentioned Jacoby Durant yesterday. I think he's another guy that stands out. Michael Hoyt, you're seeing those guys, maximize their opportunities, even Rush Yeast, being able to play more on the back end. And so those have been some positive things. It's been good to be able to have Daniel Hardy get his feet wet and play, some more snaps, both on teams and defensively. But a lot of guys are capitalizing on opportunities and in a lot of instances, this is kind of where we're at and you look at it through a positive lens. And I think, you can see if guys go about it the right way, when the coaches are pouring into them, you can see the improvement that's being made. And yesterday was a great reflection of that.
And then last one for me, we talked a lot last week with you and Liam and Baker about being patient and identifying some of the stuff underneath that would be available, especially in a defensive structure like this. How impressed were you with his effort in that regard? And can you kind of expand on like how it can be hard for a quarterback to sort of stay patient in those against that type of scheme?
Yeah, I think the big thing was you didn't feel like you ever had to force anything because we were so efficient running the football. Even in a lot of those situations where you're calling, some of those quicker developing dropbacks, I thought he saw the field, did a great job of giving guys a chance to be able to create afterwards. And so I think because of the overall efficiency, that he led the way offensively, talking about Baker, that enabled him to be able to just kind of play within himself where you didn't feel like you had the press. I thought he saw the field really well. And so it was a great reflection of, taking what an excellent defense, kind of gives you and being able to be patient. But it was more about just playing each play as its own separate entity, playing within yourself and executing the way that he's capable of. And then I think that's a great reflection of the other 10 guys around him as well, that just, where you're getting scoring drives on every opportunity. And it says a lot about Baker. And that was definitely reflected yesterday.
Thanks, Sean.
You're welcome.
Gary.
Any reaction to the Broncos parting ways with Nathaniel Hackett?
Yeah, just, Nate's a friend of mine. It's a tough part of this business, and it just, it's why you never take anything for granted. But, Nate's a great coach. I think if there's anything that this year has taught me, Gary, I don't think you can ever let 1 year or, a small inventory of circumstances define, your self-worth and who you are as a coach, and he'll be back on his feet and have a lot of success in this league like he's had. And it's one of those deals. Tough times don't last, tough people do. And I know Nate Hackett's a tough guy.
You had talked about, earlier in the season when Cam was kind of going through that situation, that you guys actually did look for other options for him, attempt to trade him, and weren't able to. Given how he's performing, can you say that he will be back with you guys next year, or will you guys continue to possibly look for another place for him?
Oh, no, I think that right now with what he's done, continuing to build on that momentum, I think it'd be silly, based on, what a great job he's done, to think of it anything differently than him being a big part of what you want to be able to do moving forward. But, you just take it a day at a time. But that certainly, I think, is something that we've worked through. And, there's totally a different trajectory in terms of what he's done and the way that he's handled himself and the way that he's playing like we know he's capable of. And hopefully you just continue to see him build on it these last couple of weeks and into next year for the Rams.
And then finally for me, you faced Joe Barry with the Packers, Evero with the Broncos, and now Brandon Staley coming up with the Chargers. For you, I know the longer you stay in the coaching business, that former assistants are going to be all over the place, but face 3 of them in a row, and Brandon in particular, what do you think of that challenge?
I think it's a great challenge. We'll jump into the tape here after I finish up with you guys. You guys know the amount of respect that I have for him as a football mind and a football coach, and you can see they've done a great job putting themselves in legitimate playoff contention where they're excellent, and I think they are great in crunch time moments. And so I think everybody has a little bit different spin on it based on their personnel and how many similarities are there to what Joe and E are doing. I'll be able to kind of be better equipped with those answers once I dive into the tape, but it's going to be a really sound outfit. Guys are going to be in the right spots, and he does a great job of trying to create a lot of conflict and try to be the aggressor and dictate the terms from his vantage point defensively with the scheme that he runs and the mind that he has.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, we'll wrap up with Greg. This too.
Sean, you've won 2 out of 3, and you played reasonably well in the Seattle game before that. Just big picture, where do you see progress coming out of this December and a rough season in general?
Yeah, I think just like what you said, I think that's where you see, positive signs of, instances where guys are playing the way they're capable of, making plays that they're capable of. You saw yesterday was a great reflection of complementary football, all culminating at the right spots and in the, in the right 3-hour window of time. And so those are the things that you take some pride in and want to continue to see that reflected where, hey, guys, let's play to the best of our ability. Let's go cut it loose. Let's continue to pour into guys that are getting opportunities, that maybe we didn't expect or anticipate. And some of these guys are really doing a great job of establishing themselves as key figures, for years to come, hopefully. And that's kind of the approach that we'll take for these last 13 days.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
John, after watching the tape, what stood out to you just about the way that Kobe Durant played yesterday?
Just the overall effort. And really, I think that's been consistent from his, he's one of those guys that just has a knack for making plays. And I think that was reflected as early as just him getting a chance to play against the Falcons early on in the season. He's one of those guys that, he finds a way to be able to get his hands on the ball and make plays. He's got a knack for, even when you've activated him as a blitzer, just one of those guys that finds ways to be in the right spot at the right time. And then he's got the explosiveness, the athleticism to finish those plays. It was great to be able to see him, finish that off, being able to take that one the other way yesterday. And he's got a great play energy and swagger. And those are the things that you could feel during the course of the game, and it pops on the tape as well.